Hello, my name is Andrew Davis, and I'm interviewing over the internet for the position of Director of Operations for the Programming Activities Council. I have the questions here, and I'll just read them and then answer them. Number one, what do you believe is PAC's function on campus? I think PAC's function on campus is to host relevant events for the students that are fun and entertaining and engage as many people as possible to really get people involved, help maybe some of the shyer people meet new people and get everyone together to have a good time. May be slightly different this coming semester depending on the rules, but we'll just see. Number two, why do you want to be in PAC and why do you feel that you are qualified? So I wanted to be in PAC because I saw a lot of the events, and I got to go to a lot of the events that PAC put on this last semester, and it was just really fun to see the whole process coming together. I think it'd be really cool to be a part of, and I just really love planning events and putting them on. It's really cool to see all of your hard work come together right before your eyes, and when other people are smiling and running around laughing with their friends, it just makes me feel happy inside. Why do you feel that you are qualified? So there are several different reasons that I'm kind of maybe uniquely qualified for this. This past semester, I worked for Student Life with the Cultural Inclusion Council, and I was the coordinator for the International Student Alliance. I had meetings for that. We did office hours for that. As part of the Cultural Inclusion Council, I co-chaired the fashion show, and so I was involved in the entire planning process for that. Everything we bought, our budgets, planning, volunteers, and then I was a model and I designed and I did a bunch of other stuff with that as well. But it was so cool, and that event was amazing. I kind of helped with the Fall Fest last semester, but I wasn't on the committee or did anything besides just really help the day of. For the past 2 years, I've been involved with the Hospitality Management Club, and as a part of that, I was liaison with the Cultural Diversity Board for their fashion show last year, and that's how I got involved with that and ended up doing a ton of stuff beyond just their layout and organizing help and volunteers. I got really involved with that, and that's a different story. We also did work for Country Jam. We helped with the Veterans Ball. We did last year the Holy Family Gala. We helped with that. We were going to help this year as well, but it got moved to August because of the coronavirus. Just messing with everything all the time. It's great. I'm also a hospitality management major, and so I have classes that directly correlate with dealing with people and hosting events, which is really cool. Yeah. Question 3. What new ideas do you have for this semester? As I mentioned earlier, this semester might be a little weird because we may have a bunch of regulations for how many people in one place or whatever like that. So it's kind of hard to say exactly what kind of events we'll have. But I think it would be really cool if we don't have any restrictions to have a dance or a prom. I don't know what we would call it exactly, but pick a great theme. I think it'd be really cool because people have grown up a lot since high school. I know I have. They're in different relationships, in a different state of mind, and it would be really cool for them to kind of just have a dance to go to. And I think it would be very well attended beyond like the older college students. We also have all the freshmen coming in that just missed their senior prom. So that would be a cool opportunity for them to kind of rectify that. And I think it'd just be a fun event all around. Beyond that, we could do, if there are a bunch of regulations, we could do more like team stuff where people would sign up in advance and then go do an activity for like a prize. I've seen scavenger hunts, picture scavenger hunts. I think those would be really fun. I've done them before where you get with your team and then you go all over the place taking pictures with certain things or doing wacky poses or whatever. And that would be a great way to get people maybe out of the campus buildings, around campus, into the community, or again, if there's restrictions, we could do outside of the community, get them on trails or by the river, or different things. And It would just be fun events with a spin because of Corona. Question 4, walk us through your process of planning for one of your new events. So say we're allowed to have the dance, which I hope we would, even if even if it's next spring or whatever, I still think we should do it. Um, the first thing would be the idea. The idea was good. I mean, if it's not good, we scrap it and do it to something else. But if it is good, get it cleared by the rest of PAC's executives. And then the next step would be planning a time, a date, and a location. And those kind of have to be done at the same time uh, because if you're like if there's someone else using your location, it just doesn't work otherwise. So we'd figure that out. Say we wanted to use the ballroom, we would then check with Shanae and Julie and the student life calendar to make sure none of the other bigger campus groups were doing something on that day, at that time, in that place, any of those. The next thing would be to meet with like Megan and decide on a layout, decide if we're going to use Sodexo for alcohol or food and get all of that settled, have them write us up a thing and we okay it based on how many people we want for how long and how many dishes and all of that. Then we would need a to-do list for ourselves, what decorations we need to order, when do we need to have contracts in, and get that stuff done as soon as possible. Then it would be how many volunteers do we need? Do we need training ourselves? Do the volunteers need training? Make a day of timeline, and then just throughout the whole process, make sure that everyone has all of the information they need to answer those same questions. If someone from a different department or Julie or Shanae or someone comes in with a question, if everyone knows what's going on, it just makes the whole process so much easier. Then obviously we would have the event, clean up from the event, breathe a huge sigh of relief that it's over, and immediately start planning the next event. And that's just how it goes. Question 5. What does successful communication between different departments mean to you? So I think a lot of this has to do with communication channels. I'm a communication studies minor, so that's something that they talk about a lot. Whether that's, is it an appropriate message for an email? Is it an appropriate message for a phone call? Should you just walk across campus and talk to someone? I prefer just talking to people face to face, but that's not always an option. But it's just picking what is best for the message and the channel that means the least amount of information is going to be lost. And then I think a huge thing that I have found that I really struggle with is when someone in our group doesn't entirely know what's going on and they're just really confused. They have the opportunity to confuse others. And I just think if there's really open communication between everyone in the group and everyone is able to answer questions from other groups, it just makes it so much easier. And I think just open and honest communication between ourselves will just help with everything else so much. And then as well, we take care of things when they need to be taken care of and don't wait to handle contracts and conversations with other departments or people last minute because it just won't work. So many things happened with CIC where we were doing stuff last minute and it was bad. Question 6. What would the name of your debut album be? So right now, if it was coming out right now, it would be Coronavirus, and then it would be Isolation Configuration. And it would just be crying, just lots of crying, and then all of the acoustics would just have to be made in my house with my dog or banging pots and pans or clicking the toaster up and down or just other random noises. And it would just be really sad music. But everyone could relate right now and it would probably sell out. But yeah, thank you so much for considering me, and it'd be great to work with you guys next semester. Thank you.